Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Good morning to everybody and greetings from SPSTI, the Society for Promotion of Science and Technology in India. We are an NGO devoted to popularization of science and technology. It's a very sunny morning here in Chandigarh. We are gathered at the Punjab Engineering College. Everybody else is gathered in the next space. So welcome. This meeting is jointly organized by the Chandigarh chapter of NASI, the National Academy of Sciences India, and Technology Enabling Center, the TEC of UIT, University Institute of Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, and also the Alumni Association of Punjab University, Chandigarh. So welcome everybody for this session to remember Dr. F.C. Kohli, a giant among those who shaped India's IT industry. I now ask Professor Arun Grover to take over, but before that, Anuj, I think we are going to show a slideshow. So can we please share the slideshow?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
This is a slideshow of 3 visits of Dr. F.C. Kohli to Chandigarh in 2013 and 14, during which he visited not only Punjab University but also the Punjab Engineering College and other institutions in the town.
Good morning from Punjab Engineering College campus, which is commemorating its centenary year after its humble beginnings at Lahore in 1921. As you just saw in the PPT, Dr. Kohli had visited Punjab PEC campus for its convocation in the year 2014. At the outset, I may state that I want to believe that Providence had designed that I would have an opportunity to initiate the process of organization of today's meeting in honor of the rich legacy of an iconic alumnus of Punjab University who had been awarded gold medal in the PSc Honours School degree in physics in 1945 while being a student of Government College Lahore. Amongst the honor schools in various subjects since 1919 at Lahore, the honor school in physics was the last to be commenced in 1934. Just about 10 batches of physics honor school had graduated from Lahore before the Indian independence. It is a matter of great pride for all of us that amongst those 10 batches, there have been two titans, namely Dr. F.C. Kohli and Professor Yashpal, who have served independent India in an exemplary manner. They have been honored with Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan respectively. I feel elated that I graduated from the same physics honor school as the present Punjab University campus in 1972. I have had the privilege of hosting both Dr. Kohli and Dr. Yashpal during my tenure as VC PU. When I enrolled for the PhD degree in physics at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, following the footstep of Yashpal, after 23 years, Mr. F.C. Kohli and Professor Yashpal were both in Mumbai. The two well-known names in their respective domains at TCS and TIFR respectively. In 1972, both of them had just taken up newer missions and were providing leadership in the new challenges, one in the IT industry and the other in applications of space and technology. I do not remember to have seen them together at TIFR during my PhD days. Mr. F.C. Kohli was an occasional visitor at events hosted by Professor R. Narasimhan, who was the head of the computer group of TIFR and the founder president of Computer Society of India. Professor Narasimhan had steered the development of the first indigenous computer named TIFRAC, TIFR Automatic Calculator, after his induction by Dr. Homi Bhabha into the TIFR system in 1959. As the TIFR moved into its present premises in 1962, Narasimhan was responsible for the acquisition and installation of a large national facility, CDC 3600, which was used by the academia and industry equally. Mr. F.C. Kohli recalled in a book dedicated to R. Narasimhan during the birth centenary commemoration of Homi Bhabha, and I quote, "My association with CDC 3600 happened through the Tata Electric companies, who made extensive use of computers in various ways, such as computerization of operations, maintenance, and design of Tata Electric grid and the power system applications, such as load flow analysis and transient stability studies. We had moved from using analog network of IISc Bangalore to the digital computer of TIFR. As the mid-1970s came, Professor Narasimhan had got created National Center for Software Development and Computing Techniques at TIFR. Mr. F.C. Kohli could be seen with Professor Narasimhan and Director Professor M.G.K. Menon more often at TIFR events now. Professor Menon had got set up the offices of Information Planning and Analysis Group and the Secretariat of Electronics Commission in the Air India building. Mr. Kohli was commanding operations of TCS from the same Air India building. His office as Emeritus Professor TCS continued to remain in the Air India building. As the President of the Computer Society of India, Dr. Kohli had stated in 1975, and I quote, "Many years ago, there was an industrial revolution. We missed it due to factors over which we had no control. Today, there is a new revolution, a revolution in information technology. which requires neither mechanical bias nor mechanical temperament. Primarily, it requires the capability to think clearly. This we have in abundance. We have an opportunity even to assume leadership. If we miss this opportunity, those who follow us will not forgive us for our tardiness and negligence. We want to develop technology on our own and be the masters of our destiny. Unquote. This is what Mr. F.C. Kohli did by the time he handed over the baton to his chosen successor, Mr. S. Ramadorai, whom he had inducted himself in 1969 as he moved to take over Tata Computer Systems established by Tata Sons in 1968. The computer systems morphed into consultancy services on the way. Mr. Ramadorai also had his first degree in physics before he moved to obtain BE in electronics and MS in computer science. In TIFR, Mr. Ramadorai was known as the brother-in-law of Professor S. Narna of School of Physics. So we knew him well. Numerous colleagues and students of Professor Narasimhan joined TCS during the tenures of Mr. Kohli and Mr. Ramadorai. These include Dr. Mathai Joseph and Dr. Keshav Nuri. Both served as executive vice presidents of TCS. The latter also presided over the convocation of UIT of TU. He will also join us during the meeting today. With this, I conclude my address.
Thank you, Professor Grover. Thank you for that very incisive piece of information. And now I would request Professor Rajesh Kochar to give us a brief profile of Dr. F.C. Kohli.
Thank you very much. F.C. Kohli, as you know, is a very well-studied subject. I'm going to spend my time on giving some information on his pre-fame days and family background. This information is not so far available at one place. I then made some comments of an analytical nature. Lahore was a major center for film production. At the time of partition, film people shifted to Bombay. A similar thing happened in the field of science and technology. Lahore was an outstanding educational center. Persons born in the 20s completed their education by 1947, received overseas government scholarships, and returned with high qualifications. The scholarship schemes initiated by the British in the last years of their rule and the ones implemented immediately after independence deserve to be studied more closely. Post-partition Punjab, as well as Delhi, was in great turmoil and could not have offered these foreign-trained young men anything. Even if partition had not taken place, North India was in no position to make use of these highly qualified people. Many of them therefore headed for Bombay and Bangalore. One such young man was Kohli. He had his early education in Peshawar, after which he came to Lahore to join the most prestigious college there, the government college. He obtained 2 degrees from Punjab University, BA Honours in English and BSc Honours School in Physics, in which he won a gold medal. So far, I have not been able to ascertain the exact years of his degrees from official records. He left India on a government scholarship in 46 and returned in 51 after earning a bachelor's degree from Queen's University, Canada, and master's from MIT, both degrees being in electrical engineering. It would be helpful to get copies of his CV from these institutions. On return, he joined the House of Tata, which became his current home. Kohli's first name, Fakir, is ironic. It must have been given to ward off evil eye because his family was extremely well off. It ran a huge business under the name Kirparam Brothers. They were drapers and outfitters. Peshawar was a very big cantonment and Kirparam Brothers catered to military officers. Their products carried the tag by appointment to Commander-in-Chief of India. You see this picture, this huge house. On the ground floor, there are shops belonging to Kohli's family, and the upstairs is the residence. And you also see a hat. This is a hat for military officers, which is made by Kirparam, and it's on auction. And if you spend 60 pounds, you may get it. I think India will have more use for it than anybody else. Kohli must have been a very rare kind of a student in Lahore because he was rich and bright. There were many students who were rich who came to Lahore just to pass time. There was a large number of students in Lahore who were very bright but from poorer or lower background, lower middle class background. But Fakir Chand was very, very rich. Kohli belonged to a Khatri subset known as Kukran. Examples in public eye are ex-PM Dr. Manmohan Singh and film star Devanand. The Kukran Biradri comprises castes such as Kohli, Anand, Chadda, Sethi, Sani, and some others. They married among themselves and maintained close ties. This cohesiveness was a source of strength to Kohli, especially because his mother's side was very wealthy and openly nationalist. His mother was from the Sethi family and his would-be wife had her surname, maiden surname as Sani. Her family was also based in Rawalpindi. These families suffered due to partition because they lost their source of income, but they insulated Fakir Chand from troubles which were growing in India. I don't think his stay in America was fully self-supporting. He received money from India and his family protected him from the turmoil which they were facing. A person far more innovative than Kohli was his Nani, his mother's mother, Lakshmi Devi, by marriage. Her name was Lakshmi Devi. She came from a modest background and did not bring any dowry, but she was exceptionally gifted mathematically, was a clear thinker and a great help to her husband in his business. They owned salt mines in the famous salt range. Salt was brought on camels and distributed in the region. Lakshmi Devi decided that there was no need to send back the camels, who could be sold locally. Rawalpindi, like Peshawar, was a big cantonment and the army a big buyer of camels. As it turned out, camels brought in more money than salt. Only yesterday, I located FC Kohli's son, Sanjay Kohli, who studied at IIT Bombay. He's a USA-based entrepreneur and, like his father, associated with IEE. He has been elected a fellow. I have requested him for his reminiscences, but it is too early to expect a response. It is from him that I learned about his mother's maiden surname. We celebrate, and rightly so, achievements of pioneers and visionaries like Kohli. But it is also important to place their work in a broader context so that we may learn from them in the circumstances under which we are now placed. Carlyle believed that history of the world is but the biography of great men. My own prescription is somewhat difficult. I would like to suggest that History chooses the hour, and the hour produces the hero. The hour is chosen by the history, and the hour in turn produces the hero. Tatas were forward-looking and enjoyed world reputation for their professionalism and ethics. Reputed companies in the world were therefore happy to collaborate with them. They were the first corporate house to appreciate the role of computers. They had very capable staff and access to great intellectual resources, which they had created themselves, TIFR and Institute of Science Bangalore, enabling them to build rapport between academia and industry. Kohli's credentials as MIT alumnus opened doors for him and his employers. The most momentous, as it turned out, was Tata's alliance with Burroughs. Kohli was compelled to focus on software because India was still stuck on concepts like import substitution. Now that economic policies and thinking have changed, Kohli 2.0, the Kohli of today, will surely focus on speedy value addition to software and actual manufacturing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kochhar, for your analytical comments. I would now request Professor Manu Sharma. Professor Manu Sharma, please unmute yourself. And I believe you have a message from Professor Rajkumar,
Yes, madam.
of Punjab University, Chandigarh.
Yes, madam. Good morning, everyone. Due to busy schedule, Professor Rajkumar ji is not able to attend this meeting, and he has asked me to read his message. So now I am going to read the message of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Rajkumar ji. It is a matter of grief for all of us here in Punjab University to know that Dr. Fakir Chand Kohli ji has left for heavenly abode. He was graduate from Punjab University, Lahore. He led a very impactful life from 19th March 1924 to 26th November 2020. He was the founder and the first CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, India's largest software services company. He was also associated with other companies within the Tata Group, including the Tata Power Company and Tata ELXI, and had been a president of the Indian Information Technology Services Advocacy Body, NESCOM. He was a recipient of the Padma Bhushan, India's third highest civilian honor, in 2002 for his contributions to the Indian software industry. He is referred to as the father of the Indian IT industry for his contributions to the establishment and growth of the Indian IT industry. Punjab University is extremely proud that Dr. F.C. Kohli ji was graduate from this great university. On this occasion, favorite one-liner of Kohli ji comes to my mind. India has no business to remain poor. This one-liner can act as a broad guide for all of us. A decent tribute to Dr. F.C. Kohli ji would be if we make some efforts, how much soever minuscule, to realize vision that Kohli ji had for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Manu Sharma. Let me mention here that Professor Manu Sharma is faculty in charge, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, UIT, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and also a member of Technology Enabling Center of UIT. Thank you, Professor Sharma, for bringing this message from the Vice Chancellor. It is now my privilege to invite Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe of AICT to say a few words. Professor Sahasrabudhe.
Namaskar. In Fakir Chand Kohli, a great titan, visionary, a great human being, we are all become orphans. my association with him from 2006 to 2015 for 9 long years. He was the chairman of the Board of Governors of College of Engineering, Pune, where I was the director. Prior to that, I hardly had any interaction or knowledge about what all FCK had done for India. It was Professor Ashok Mishra of IIT Bombay one sudden evening asked me for the biodata and said, Sri Kohliji wants your biodata, please give it. I didn't understand what was the reason. But anyway, I sent that to Dr. Mishra, and suddenly in the month of June 2006, I received a call from Air India building that I must go and meet him. I didn't know the background, why and how. And after reaching there, there was an interview for the position of director. I was nominated by Mishra, and then after the interview, he just said, when are you joining? I said, sir, I'm a deputy director at IIT Guwahati. I have to take a release from there, and it will take at least a couple of months. I have started a course, so I have to close that. No, you go and tell Barua. He will release you. I didn't understand how can he say like this to the director of an IIT that he will release me immediately. But anyway, I went back and told Professor Barua that I've been like this selected. I had not even told him that I'm going for this particular interaction meeting. So he said, don't worry, if you are wanting to go there, I'm releasing you tomorrow itself. I was shocked. Normally directors will say that you have to do this, that. So subsequently, I learned all of this from Kohli himself, that he had an interaction with Barua, Professor Dhande, Professor Mishra, and many others, and decided that I must be pulled out from IIT Guwahati to College of Engineering, Pune. The reason behind that was Maharashtra government had created a task force in which Professor Sukhatme, the then director of IIT Bombay, Professor Nayak were there, and they had given a suggestion that autonomy has to be given to some of these old institutions if you want to turn them around. And that suggestion was accepted by the government, and then they said, who will run this show? So you need to take up the board of governors, chairman for all these institutions for whom we are recommending. One of them was VJTI, the other one was ICT, and then called UDCT, then one in Nanded, Guru Gobind Singh Institute, and then COEP. So he said, I will not take 4, I will take only 1, and that is COEP, and that's how he had pulled me out and brought him there. And then he started telling me that you have to do this, why you are not doing this. Every day I used to get a call from Kohli in the first 1 or 2 years, and thorough banging. Why are you not doing this? I have told you, sir, I was telling him, this is a government college. You can't change so easily. I'm trying my best. It will take some more time. And the words which touched my heart, he said, I'm 84. I have no time left. I don't know how many years I will live. You have time on your side. You may be slow, but I can't afford to be slow. You have to do it immediately. And that is the strong word he said. I don't have time. You have time. I think that was a phenomenal sentence which made me that I have to be now tough with my all faculty members, and transformation began in right earnest. And in the next 2-3 years, we were able to achieve what is the story of transformation of College of Engineering, Pune. Many firsts were done thanks to the mentorship which I received from him. Whenever I used to send any mail, and next day his secretary would take a printout and put it before him, he will read it, and immediately the reply will come. The decision making, the pace at which he was doing was phenomenal. Very sharp intellect, sharp memory. He would say either, what nonsense are you doing? Or he will say, you are doing excellent thing, go ahead. I think these are the only 2 mails, replies which I used to get from him. And then we were meeting in Sangam. We had many other interactions, of course, with FCK. But some of the things which strike, even Rajkumar, Punjab University Vice Chancellor, what he has said is India has no business to be poor. He used to say that India is having 1/6 the population of the entire globe. See, we are 1.3 billion out of the 7 billion population, and therefore God is not partial. there must be 1/6 intellect also here, 1/6 capability, 1/6 research capability, innovation capability, and we have no business to be poor. And that was the sentence we used to hear from him often. And not just the IT, many people know about his IT prowess and IT superpower, starting off TCS here. Anant Krishnan is there, and we used to meet in Sangam. I think that apart, he had many other varied interests which many people do not know. His first love was in fact Tata Power, and started with automation, and the first digital control system outside USA was from India, from the Tata Power. Subsequently, in the later years, between that 84 to 94, when I was associated with him, used to tell about his experiments in agriculture, about adult education in different Indian languages, how we missed the bus in hardware, and his love for electronics. I think I can go on and on. And he was always lamenting on two things, that we missed the hardware revolution. We did IT, but not in hardware. Second one is, why did we not even think about having operating systems, OS, in Indian languages? We have OS systems which are all in English. Why can't we have our own system? We could have empowered our people. I think nation first and Atmanirbhar Bharat, which our Prime Minister is talking today, is all started with him. He was all the time saying we must be Atmanirbhar. I think that is what FCK was. And last but not the least, the family bonding. And in every occasion, whether it is a party or function, whenever something is served, he would first take that, whether it is glass or whether it is water, whether it is taking food plate, he will carry it to madam and first serve her, and then he will take. I think these family bondings, the way he used to behave, and although outwardly he was very tough and saying a language which sometimes feel that, what is he saying to me? But inward, he was very soft, very kind, and every time he used to take care of all of us, actually. So we have lost a great mentor, great visionary, and we must tell his family that we all owe to him all this what we are today. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Sahasrabudhe. What wonderful reminiscences coming from Chairman AICTE. I would now request Shri Som Mittal, who is present here, to say a few words.
Thank you. There are so many of you who have known Mr. Kohli and worked with him so closely. So I'm sure his achievements, etc., all of you will speak about. But for me, he lived a wonderful life, a wonderful man who was an amazing person, led an amazing life. And I think we should all celebrate and learn from this. I will always remember him for the outstanding human being he was. Professor Sahasrabudhe, I had the privilege of being the chairman of PEC in 2015. And before I took the position, I went across to Mr. Kohli and said, this is what I'm doing. The institute is good, but we want to take it higher. I've heard about what you have done. And he was so happy that I reached out to him. He pulled out reports after reports of what he did in College of Engineering, Pune. He talked about you. And he told me what I should do. And I actually gave all those reports across to Manoj, who tried to implement as much as he could during that period. So he just was a wonderful person. While a lot of people called him FCK, for us, he was Kohli Saab. I always found that he was first an engineer at heart, and he was engineer at heart even all through his life. He was a great learner, a great teacher. All of you who have been part of the IT industry and go back, I'm not sure during his lifetime how many generations of technology he straddled so well. Even today, the young people find it difficult to transition from one technology to the other. But here was Kohli Saab, who till the end was talking about digital technologies as fluently as a young, bright new engineer would be speaking. Many of you who have been to his office, the TCS library was positioned just diagonally across his room. And he would go very often there, pick up books, browse through them and tell people what it was and which ones to do. So he was for him, learning never stopped and teaching never stopped. For the last 24 years, after he retired as the TCS CEO, he would go to the office every single day. Maybe he will go there at 11 o'clock. He would wear his tweed jacket, a tie, and I was sometimes embarrassed when I would go and see him and I wasn't in a tie and a jacket myself. But here was this person who would be there, and he would walk in from his office, spend the day reading, meeting people, getting involved in different programs. His table was always piled up with books and reports, handwritten notes. And this was his corner office on the 11th floor at Air India building, which gave the best view of the Queen's Necklace. I wonder if Mr. Kohli ever saw it, because he was only focused on what he did so well. His sense of purpose and commitment to technology solutions for India, I think many of you have spoken about it. He initiated many programs on educating masses. He was the champion of Indian language computing. And I remember him, he wouldn't miss an opportunity if he met any one of us. I'm sure all of you know that. He would say, "Kar kya rahe ho? What are you doing for Indian computing languages?" He would also say, "Bahut paisa banaya hai, ab thoda is par bhi kaam kar lo." Right? And, I hope we can still take that part if we really mean it, take that part of his lessons, which I think still needs to be worked on. When I first joined in 1990 the tech industry, I went to see him, and he struck to me as a very straight, passionate, straight talking person. His aura around him was such that people were scared about his no nonsense approach. Kohli Sahab always worked with a sense of dissatisfaction. He always believed that something that he was doing could be done, and it could be done better. It was never easy to satisfy him. But he was never satisfied with himself, right? He always wanted to egg on, and that is what kept him going. He was a demanding boss, and while people were initially fearful of working with him, we will only later realize that was his way of, that was the standard he had for himself, and that was his coaching for people. And going from there, I think the number of people that TCS and Kohli Sahab has given and contributed to the industry are very many. Like Professor says, they said, you send him a report, handwritten, he'll read it, put his comments and send them back. When I was head of NASSCOM, he would often call me once in 2 months and say, I've not been in touch, but I read every one of your letters and reports. And he would tell me about what was going right and where I should change. So he was always there to help and guide you. A demanding boss, but a very deeply caring person. Kohli Sahab was a very private person, but there is a very human and affable side of him. I remember, if you were lucky to be with him at tea time, he would pour the tea for you. He had this tea cozy and, real connoisseur of good tea. And I think I used to time my visit to his tea time so that I could spend a little more time with him. He attended a lot of EC retreats. I'm talking about the last 5 years. Every year, we and the spouses go out to some place for 3 days. Believe me, this is in 90s. I'm not talking about early days. He's come to Sri Lanka and Varanasi and Bhubaneswar, and he would participate in all the activities. And when the music will come on, he and Swaranji will be among the first to join us on the dance floor, right? And here was this person in the 90s, and we would be completely, sometimes I used to go make his drink and give it to him. And, sometimes he would be very upset if we fussed around him. Sometimes he wanted to help him because he wasn't sure, but he would say, God has given me enough strength to manage myself, so I will manage. So, he was, I remember he coming along with us to Pakistan in 2004, and we were in Karachi. And we realized that day was his wedding anniversary, and in the hotel, we did a Jaimal between Swaranji and him. This is the first time I saw Kohli Sahab emotionally touched and moved. And by the way, he was actually going to Nankana Sahib. We didn't go to Rawalpindi, but he did. And, I think this was the first time he was probably visiting there back. I met him last on March 3rd. It was my wife's book launch in Bombay. He and Soranji came. Mind you, this is a person who had just was a week later, 96-year-old. He came across the city there. And when I was trying to serve him food, he says, nahi, this food is out of your wife's book. मैं खुद जाके देखता हूँ. And as Professor Shwestra Budde said, he served not only for himself, but for Swaranji as well. So let's celebrate the person and his life and the zest for life he had. Rest in peace, Kohli Sahab. I think you can see the number of people who remember you and will always remember you. And we will take on the flame that you lit in the IT industry. Thank you. Thank you, Kohli Sahab.
Thank you, Mr. Mittal. Very inspiring words indeed. Thank you. And now I would request,
Manu Sharma ji will read.
now I will request Mr. Anant Krishnan from Tata Consultancy Services. He's the Executive Vice President, Tata Consultancy. Mr. Anant Krishnan.
Thank you, Madam. My greetings to Shri Dharamveer, President, Society for Promotion of Science and Technology in India, Professor Arun Grover, Vice President, SPSTI, and former VC of Punjab University, and all the dignitaries who have spoken today and will speak. Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to represent TCS at this memorial meeting in honor of Dr. F.C. Kohli. I was perhaps the last generation of TCSers from the mid-80s who had the opportunity to work closely with him. So I will divide my remarks into two. First, a set of official statements that I will read out on behalf of several leaders from TCS and the Tata Group in honor of his memory. And then I will also add a few personal remarks of my own. First is the official statement on behalf of TCS. I'll read it out. Tata Consultancy Services mourns the passing out of Padma Bhushan Shri F.C. Kohli, our first CEO and the father of the Indian IT industry. Mr. Kohli joined the company in 1969 at the behest of J.R.D. Tata. He pivoted first into management consultancy and then over the next 2 decades into software development, helping the organization navigate multiple technology waves over 2.5 decades by continually investing in people and staying relevant to our customers. He stepped down as CEO in 1996 and continued to play an active role in promoting technology to solve this country's societal problems. Next, I will read out a quote from Chairman Tata Sons, Mr. N. Chandrasekaran. I am deeply saddened by the news that Mr. F.C. Kohli has passed away. He was a true legend who laid the very foundations for India's spectacular IT revolution and set the stage for the dynamic modern economy we enjoy today. Mr. Kohli led innovations in areas far-ranging from adult literacy, water purification, software engineering, software automation, complex systems, cybernetics, many more. I have had the honor and privilege of working with and learning from Mr. Kohli from the day he hired me as a trainee in TCS. Despite his momentous achievements, his simplicity and thoughtfulness is a lesson for all of us. His enduring optimism and his ability to make ambitious bets leaves a legacy, one that has advanced a nation. I will miss him dearly. Next, I will read out a message from Shri S. Ramadurai, former CEO, former Vice Chairman TCS. Fakir Chand Kohli was a brilliant technocrat and a business leader with varied interests. He was passionate about the development of our nation and its youth. He was also my mentor, guide, and very close family friend. His demise is a personal loss to our family. The nation has lost a legend today. Finally, I'll read a message from Mr. Rajesh Gopinathan, CEO and Managing Director, TCS. Mr. Fakir Chand Kohli was a true visionary, showing amazing foresight in harnessing the rich engineering talent available in India to create an entire new industry that defied all odds and has grown to be a global powerhouse. Over the nearly 3 decades that he led TCS, his sense of purpose, his clarity of vision, strength of character, and unwavering belief in investing in people left an indelible stamp on the organization's culture. Mr. Kohli's contributions to TCS, the Indian IT industry, and to the nation are immense and unmeasurable. As we move forward on the path he has charted out for us, partnering our customers in their growth and transformation journeys, using technology as a source of social good, scaling new peaks in creating value for all stakeholders, we continue to draw inspiration from Mr. Kohli's passion for technology, intellectual rigor, community spirit, and his relentless drive until the very end. On behalf of all TCSers, I extend my heartfelt condolences to the Kohli family. Those were the official messages. I'll just spend a minute or two more on a personal note. As I said, I had the honor of working under his guidance from the time I joined TCS in the mid-80s, and since then, over the last more than 3 decades. I also have memories like Professor Sahasrabudhe, Mr. Som Mittal indicated, of that corner office in Air India building. The honor of having tea with him, which he used to personally pour, and have long discussions with him on technology across multiple generations. He was very fond of younger people, younger engineers like myself, and he used to give us time and made sure that our thinking was right, made sure that the rigor that he expected and the excellence that he expected was built into our DNA. And he was able to inspire us and learn from him and everybody around him. That's the biggest tribute that I can pay him. He was the founder of TCS Research. When Tata Research Development Design Center was established in Pune. Today, I have the honor of heading TCS Research and Innovation globally. And in his memory, I have put out a public message to say that the best tribute that we can have to him is to live up to his vision and make TCS Research and Innovation and TCS and the world at large really, really successful. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Anant Krishnan, for sharing your personal experiences. I will now request Sri Rajiv Vaishnav to say a few words. Rajiv Vaishnav is ex-Vice President of NASSCOM.
Thank you. From here, I send you my words. Envelope my words into your silence, and my words will become just a prayer. From here, I send you my silence. My silence itself is my prayer. I thank the organizers and Professor Arun Grover for giving me this opportunity to express my feelings. कौन किसके करीब होता है? कौन किसके करीब होता है? अपना अपना नसीब होता है. याद आता है जब अजीज कोई, दर्द दिल के करीब होता है. I feel very humbled in this august company to talk about such a great persona, Dr. F.C. Kohli. I can only say that it is like सूरज को चिराग दिखाने जैसी बात है. I consider a sheer luck that I was able to meet Mr. Kohli work with him, and maybe in a very small way call myself as his acquaintance. Mr. Harish Mehta introduced me to the technology world when he invited me to launch TIE in India. And thanks to that, I got the opportunity to work with the stalwarts of IT industry. In December 99, I met Kohli sir for the first time in one of the TIE events. And after that, I kept on meeting him because that was the time when a lot of angel investors, VCs, and technocrats, entrepreneurs were coming from Silicon Valley. And we had multiple such occasions. And his aura was such that whenever I used to see him, I used to meet him, I would touch his feet. At NASSCOM, when I used to meet Sir, yes, at the Air India building again, 11th floor corner office, I used to get, there was a pattern in our meeting, and I was trying to get used to that. And the pattern was that as soon as our meeting starts, for first 10 to 15 minutes, there will be an outburst by Kohli sir about what NASSCOM should be doing that it is not doing. And I would be quiet, listening to him. And then I'll talk to him about the recent activities and the kind of work that we are doing. After those 15, 20 minutes of in-depth but fiery discussion, he would start talking about his passion. And maybe he will talk about IT is not just software, it is hardware also. And then we have to focus on that. And he would talk about a literacy program or Indic computing, always emphasizing on how judiciary can be benefited with the technology innovations and multiple such things. He knew my passion for literature. So he had given me a Urdu software for the Urdu language. And he said, Rajiv, I'm sure you will enjoy this. While sipping tea, as many of us had the experience, then he will talk about our personal inspirations, family, and many such other things. If I would not meet him for a couple of months, invariably there will be a call from his office that Kohli Saab wants to see me. And it would be an honor for me to rush to meet him. Always inspiring, always young at heart, always challenging the limit. Never say die attitude, and that's the kind of conviction that Kohli sir had. Full of life, always motivated me personally and professionally. He was a true people builder, organization builder, industry builder. During my 13 years of tenure with NASSCOM, I could work with many professionals who were mentored by Dr. Kohli. And I could see the same passion for excellence in all of them. I will conclude with a couplet which is so apt for this occasion and for Dr. Kohli. हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है. हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है. बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, now you are.
Thank you, Mr. Vaishnav, for highlighting the many qualities of Dr. Kohli. Thank you very much. We will now have two messages displayed. One is from Sri S.K. Munjal and the next one from Professor Kesab Nori. So Anuj here will play a message from Sri S.K. Munjal, who is the chairman of Hero Enterprises.
With the passing of Mr. F.C. Kohli, India has lost a tall leader, a leader who was in many ways the founder of the IT and the technology industry in India, and a leader who was also a visionary, who looked beyond today at the potential in the people, in the companies, and in the nation. My father actually knew him quite well. They were born, of course, just 1 year apart, and both having migrated at some point in time from what became Pakistan. They had some common connections and some common roots. And they had a very healthy regard and respect for each other. My father would often speak about him with both fondness and with respect. So when I did meet him first time, I was already impressed with him before I did meet him, but it was a wonderful, warm conversation with him. And he was a most unassuming human being. You would never imagine the kind of heights he had reached and what he had achieved in his professional career. A very straight talking, simple, and a meaningful individual. He will truly be missed by not just the technology industry, but by India and by those who think of industriousness as a necessary ingredient in building the future of.
So that was the brief message from Sri S.K. Munjal of Hero Enterprises. Actually, I always remember Hero cycles. Which throughout my student days, that's what I used. So Hero associated with cycles. Next, Anuj, are we ready? This will be a message from Professor Kesav Nori, who has been the Executive Vice President TCS and is now mentoring at IIIT Hyderabad. As you can see, this message has been recorded in the hospital. So we are particularly grateful to Professor Nori, and we wish and pray and believe that he will recover very soon. Professor Nori's message, I have to read out. Professor Nori says, मेरी आवाज आ रही? Professor Nori says it would be very wrong to think that both computer and software industry would not have been possible without Mr. Kohli's interventions. He thought at various levels in these fields and the interactions between these levels. This is what made it to be very rich. That's all.
Keshav is right now recovering from COVID in a Bangalore hospital. I had reached him a few days ago. He was hoping to be okay by now and join for the meeting in person. But recovery has been a little slow. So we received this message on his behalf just 20 minutes before the start of today's meeting. Mr. Nori had visited Punjab University for the convocation of UIT a year after Mr. Kohli had presided over the same convocation of UIT. I am particularly grateful to Keshav for this. Keshav was a student of Professor R. Narasimhan. He did his PhD at TIFR, and then for a while he was a professor at IIT Kanpur. But Mr. Kohli pulled him out as the executive vice president, and he shifted from Kanpur to Bombay, and eventually moved to IIIT Hyderabad.
Thank you. I will now request Professor Manoj Arora, who is a former director of PEC, where we are sitting today. Professor Manoj Arora is currently the Vice Chancellor of Brij Munjal University. Professor Manoj Arora, please say a few words.
Thank Shri Dhanamveer and Professor Grover in inviting me to be part of this historic event. At the outset, I would like to pay homage to Padma Bhushan Dr. F.C. Kohli ji, who left us on 26 November. Naman Kohli Saab ko. AICT Chairman Professor Sess Budde shared that when he was the Director, College of Engineering, Pune, along with Dr. F.C. Kohli as the Chairman of Board of Governors of College of Engineering, Pune, brought in several reforms in the college and placed the college on the world map. This shows Kohli Saab's love for education and transformations in the education sector, and his strong conviction that the industries should be present on the campuses of engineering and technical institutions. I have always been a fan of Kohli Saab. Once I was listening to one of his narrations on the YouTube when he said that science curriculum, including mathematics, should be revised in the universities every year. Inspired by him, I remember when from IIT Roorkee, I joined PEC as the director in July 2013. The very first assignment which we took up was to propose a common engineering curriculum for the 3 tech-up institutions in Chandigarh. At that time, the Chandigarh Region Innovation and Knowledge Cluster, we call it CRIC-C, was also blossoming under the stout leadership of Professor Grover, present here today. Perhaps other than IITs, we were one of the first institutions in the country in 2014, which reduced the credits of a 4-year degree program from original 2015 to 150, so that our students could get more time to do many other outside the classroom activities for their holistic development, which the new education policy also talks about. Later, the AICT, under the leadership of Professor Sess Budde, who is with us today, also implemented 160 credits curriculum for all the technical institutions in the country. On September 27, 2014, we invited the young and energetic 90 years old Kohli Saab, as Rajiv Vaishnav called him, to the PEC convocation to bless the faculty and students as the chief guest. He did not take a single minute to accept our invitation, majorly due to his love and respect for education. I will quote some of the pieces from his speech to the students at that time and how relevant those quotes are today. Quote 1, the curriculum of technical education should be periodically reviewed to keep up with the constantly changing dynamics of science and technology. Quote 2, governance and administrative issues, lack of financial support, and poor quality infrastructure are the bottlenecks that are hampering the growth of technical institutions across the country. Quote 3, colleges should ramp up the digital infrastructure so as to foster interaction with various IITs and other elite institutions, as digital learning is the only way. How relevant these quotes are even today, when almost all the institutions in the country are on online mode, be it virtual learning, be it working from home, be it e-meetings, be it virtual convocations, and whatnot. Even we are also paying tribute to this icon in virtual mode today. Perhaps his presence in the convocation at that time and those few hours which I spent with him was the trigger, and the PEC never looked back. With Som Mittal as the chairman board of governors of PEC, we did many things for PEC, and you all know the growth of PEC since then. The campus digitalization, integration of MOOCs in the curricula, industry-sponsored laboratories and centers of excellence on the campus. Siemens Center of Excellence in Advanced Manufacturing is a live example. Smart City Innovation Center, Intel Embedded System Laboratory, Videocon Advanced Communication Laboratory, alumni relationship resulting into alumni-sponsored solar technology part, and other labs and many more. His presence also sparked the activities of CRIC-C with greater participation of industries, academic institutions, research organizations, and of course, the Chandigarh administration. We were almost on the verge of creation of Chandigarh City Incubator, as you all know. The journey continues. The reason why I have stated this today is simply his inspiration and encouragement, which acted as a catalyst in the development of PEC as an institution which otherwise going through a very dull phase. Friends, he might be 90 years old at that time, but his thoughts were young and full of energy. He also shared his story as to how constant learning, even at the workplace, was important to realize one's full potential. This is true for all faculty, students, and leadership teams at academic institutions. If we want to see our academic institutions figuring into the global rankings, all of us have to continuously learn. The learning could be from mentors, the learning could be from peers, from juniors, and from the society. We should therefore learn from his teachings. I'm so fascinated by his character that I'll keep on going. When we were chatting on the dinner's table on the convocation dinner, he said, the future would require courage, discipline, sacrifice, and hard work, and that all of us need a vision to shape our destinies and the destiny of the nation. Perhaps he imbibed all these qualities and therefore could say this with authority and conviction. He lived a disciplined life. People have talked about today about his dinner etiquettes. At the dinner table, I was in fact hesitant to offer him jalebi, but he ate full plate with rabri on it. This is what Mr. Kohli was. His sacrifice to the nation and his hard work is a well-known fact. He has changed the destiny of our country as he wanted that the whole nation should be computerized. Indeed, all of us have become digital. He is deservedly called father of Indian software and IT industries. No one can replace him. He was a legend and will remain a legend in our hearts. His teachings will continue to inspire us to do good for ourselves, for the society, and for the nation. Friends, he may not be with us physically today, but his positive vibrations will always keep us motivating. I cannot resist myself to recite a poem by Sohan Lal Trivedi as my tribute to him. खड़ा हिमालय बता रहा है डरो ना आंधी पानी में, खड़े रहो तुम अविचल होकर सब संकट तूफानी में, डिगो ना अपने प्राण से सब कुछ पा सकते हो प्यारे, तुम भी ऊंचे उड़ सकते हो, छू सकते हो नभ के तारे. अचल रहा जो अपने पथ पर लाख मुसीबत आने में, मिली सफलता जग में उसको जीने में मर जाने में, मिली सफलता जग में उसको जीने में मर जाने में. धन्यवाद.
वाह, बहुत अच्छे प्रोफेसर अरोड़ा. Thank you very much for those inspiring words. We will now have Professor Sarit Kumar Das, who is the director of IIT Ropar. Professor Das, please.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity that I have got to speak on FC Kohli, and thanks to Professor Grover and others in this organization to give that opportunity. I am one of those unfortunate probably, because till now whoever has spoken, if they have made FC Kohli or they have seen him from close quarters. I am not one of them. I am one who saw FC Kohli from a distance. But then sometimes a distance gives the real value of a person, because a strong personality like FC Kohli, if you really meet him, you are bound to be influenced by him. And so if you are away from him, probably you can understand in an unbiased way what the worth of FC Kohli is. And FC Kohli's probably many have quoted the famous quote that India has no business to remain poor. That epitomizes FC Kohli. But I would like to tell that you have missed one word in that. He did not say India has no business to remain poor. He said India has no damn business in remaining poor. Now that damn word is very, very important. As Professor Sahasrabudhe said, that he never minced words. If he has to say that this is nonsense, he said this is nonsense. And if he has to appreciate, he said, yeah, this is great. Now, this is what is required from a visionary, to tell on the face what is good and what is bad. And we need such people. I would like to just say that we need such people really to bring out the India which will be leading the world, which will find its place in the committee of nations. And we need FC Kohli in education, in business, in industry, in academia, in research laboratories, everywhere. Now, what actually makes such a personality? I would talk about three important things which make such a personality, which we would like to create. The first thing that we learn from FC Kohli is his background. And background is very, very interesting. He took a BA in English and BSc in physics. Now, I was looking at one very interesting thing. Another alumnus of Punjab University only, who had a similar background and who is having his centenary this year, and that is Professor Satish Dhawan. He also had from Punjab University simultaneously a degree in English and science. Now, this combination seems to be wonderful, and this is what the new education policy says, the national education policy, that unless and until you can inculcate the qualities of humanities in a person young enough, the passion for creating something doesn't come. It doesn't always come from engineering education. It does come from literature. It does come from humanities. And this is one takeaway from FC Kohli, that you need these kinds of education to create an FC Kohli. The other thing is you also need organizations like Queen's University and MIT, which fired up the passion, the passion to do something from him. And so we need to create the MITs and Queen's Universities in our country. That's the second takeaway, that we need to create the kind of organization, world level organization in this country to create personalities like FC Kohli. The other thing that you require, and this is very interesting, in the Tata Group, he went from electric power to hardware to software, everything. Now, how many groups in this country in those days had that kind of breadth? None. Today, India is emerging where this multiplicity of sectors and a possibility of a person to go from one sector to another. And that is what has been seen in the whole thing, who is actually really contributed to each part of it. And if you look at the contribution that he has made, the other part which is very, very important is his courage. No, outside United States, the first power line between Pune and Mumbai to be computerized. And please remember, today computerization may mean nothing, but those were the days where nobody believed in it. He must have encountered white, gray-haired people who said, no, this is not going to work. There is going to be disaster and all that. So he had to overcome all those people and put his courage in front and do it. So you need all these three things: background, a wide variety of base in which you can execute your background, and have the courage to take it up. These are the three things which created him, which created IT industry, and not only IT industry, a different kind of culture within that group. Now today, India needs multiplicity of such personalities. And for that, as it is very obvious, we need to create those kinds of institutions which will create passion in people, which will allow people to fail and learn from there and implement it in their subsequent endeavors. And of course, we will create the people who will be brave to implement their ideas. And I'm sure we will learn from the life of FC Kohli and have many more such FC Kohlis in the future to lead this nation to the Committee of Nations.
Thank you very much, Professor Das, for your thought-provoking words. I would now request Professor Dheeraj Sanghi, who is the director of this institute, Tech Punjab Engineering College. Professor Dheeraj Sanghi.
Thank you. Yeah, so my own first interaction with Mr. Kohli was when I was nominated on the board of IIIT Allahabad, perhaps about 10 to 15 years ago, and he was made the first chairman of board of management actually. And I remember my very first board meeting. It was supposed to start at 10 o'clock, and the director had planned a lunch at 1 o'clock. And the meeting, of course, started on dot. And the meeting got over at 10:30. That's it, right? So he was so quick and everything. He says, why do we need long discussions? If we have a new point to make it. Otherwise, we approve or disapprove or whatever. The whole you know, and I'm sure Professor Sahasrabudhe here would have had the similar experience of running meetings with him. He was a no-nonsense guy. He would just say, you're not allowed to speak unnecessarily. If you have a good point, speak it. Otherwise, the agenda is over. And, you know, since the meeting got over at 10:30, I told them, and most of us who were from, you know, Lucknow, Kanpur, nearby areas, we said, we're not going to wait till lunch, till 1 o'clock. So the director was like, hey, my lunch is going to go waste because of the meeting got over so quickly. The next time we had an interaction with him was in 2005, IIT Kanpur decided to start something called a Fellow of IIT Kanpur. And this title was to be given to people who had helped IIT Kanpur in some ways. And the first two fellows that were decided at that year were, of course, Professor Subbarao and Mr. Kohli. So he had come in 2006, early 2006, to receive those awards. And that is when I came to know that, you know, he was a very close friend of Professor Kelkar, who was the first director of IIT Bombay. And Professor Kelkar had told him that, you know, whenever he meets any young, good guy anywhere in the world, because Mr. Kohli was traveling all the time, and, you know, we as assistant professor or associate professor at IIT could not really travel around the world so easily. So if you meet anybody, any good person who you think is good enough to be a faculty member, tell them about IIT Kanpur. And he was a regular member of our selection committees and so on and so forth. So IIT Kanpur is very, very thankful to Mr. Kohli for its growth, for its initial recruitment of faculty, for, you know, when we purchased our first computers, even though the TCS had not started yet, Mr. Kohli had helped us tremendously in that negotiation, for the whole payment was being made by Ford Foundation at that time. So on behalf of IIT Kanpur, since on behalf of PEC already Mr. Manoj Arora had spoken, so I'm on behalf of IIT Kanpur, I really want to remember his services, his contributions, I mean, what IIT Kanpur is today is a lot contributed by him. So thank you very much, and we will miss him.
Thank you, Professor Sanghi. There is a message from Professor Renu Vig, who couldn't join us today for impelling reasons. Professor Renu Vig is a former director of UIT, University Institute of Engineering Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh, in whose time Dr. Kohli had visited this institute. The message will be read out by Dr. Manu Sharma, also from UIT.
In the year 2013, Shri Rajiv Vaishnavji had visited Punjab University, and he shared with our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Arun Groverji, that College of Engineering Pune is producing engineers at par with IITs, and it is not IIT, but still producing excellent engineers. Our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Arun Groverji, then asked Director of UIT, Professor Renu Vig, to send a team to College of Engineering Pune and find out. Professor Renu Vig then instructed Dr. Manu Sharma, Dr. Gaurav Sapra, Dr. Amandeep Singh Marwaha, and Dr. Gaurav Verma of Chemical Engineering Department and UIT and UIMS to go to College of Engineering Pune. The team visited College of Engineering Pune, and their Director of College of Engineering Pune, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe ji, and also Shri Rajiv Vaishnav ji, then arranged one meeting of Dr. Manu Sharma and Dr. Gaurav Sapra with Dr. F.C. Kohli ji in his Nariman Point office in the Air India building. Dr. Manu Sharma and Dr. Gaurav Sapra ji had the opportunity to sit one-to-one with Dr. F.C. Kohli ji for 1 full hour. And there he shared his vision for the nation. And at that time, he was articulating that agriculture is a science, and engineers, scientists, academicians, entrepreneurs of our nation need to explore career in agriculture. To this effect, he had even built an agricultural plot in Tamil Nadu, and where he had shown 4 times productivity. This is all from Renu, madam. Thanks. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. I will now request Professor R.K. Kohli, who is representing NASI here. Professor Kohli, join kariye. Professor Kohli is Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Mohali. And formerly, before this, he was Vice Chancellor, Central University, Punjab at Bhatinda. And he was Dean and many things in Punjab University. He is Secretary of the Chandigarh chapter of NASI. Professor Kohli, has he
Good day, everyone. Thanks, Madam Chair. I feel humbled to have been invited to pay tributes on behalf of the Chandigarh chapter of National Academy of Sciences, India, Allahabad, and on my own behalf, on the legendary engineer Fakir Chand Kohli, Padma Bhushan, awardee, about whom we have learned in the last 1 year. While compiling a book in collaboration with S.K. Sani on sparkling Punjabi scientists who have made indelible mark, I was thrilled to read about Engineer Fakir Chand Kohli, whom I had never met or even seen from a distance, unlike Dr. Das. Without a degree of doctorate, he had been rubbing shoulders with scientists and industrial innovators and management. He was made a fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineers in Electrical Engineering under section Industry. He had been a game changer in favor of our nation, India. We have really lost a great man. On behalf of NASI and on my own behalf, I offer deep condolences to his family and friends and pray to the Almighty to grant peace to the departed soul. I am sure his legacy will live up to his vision to continue to bear fruits for the mankind. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Kohli. I now invite Professor Deepti Gupta, representing Punjab University Alumni Association. Deepti is a professor of English and is Dean Alumni Affairs of Punjab University, Chandigarh. Deepti.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to begin with a thank you to all the people who paid such rich tributes to someone I would most respectfully term as our person, or as they say, our old boy. And what emerges from this beautiful morning collage is the picture of a beautiful life, a life that holds a message for every generation, whether it is a youngster starting an engineering career or a youngster studying in a college somewhere, or people like us who are now heading towards superannuation or heading institutes. It holds the message of a work culture that is so effortless. You know, to use the word सहज, बड़ी सहजता से उन्होंने सब कुछ अचीव किया और उतनी ही सहजता से इस जीवन को जिया. I did not have the good fortune to interact with him. I just saw him from a distance when he visited Punjab University. But from the account of all the people who've met him, he emerges as such a well-rounded, balanced individual in these times when we all face so many emotional challenges, physical challenges, practical challenges in the world. I just hope that his life remains as a shining beacon for all of us. And on behalf of the Alumni Association, I extend deep feeling and thought to the family, to TCS, and this wonderful bunch of people who got together to remember our old boy, so to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deepti. Thank you.
You can stop.
We are reaching the end of this session, but one name which is still on my list is that of Dr. Girish Sani. So if Dr. Sani is in the audience, we can't see him. Dr. Sani, can you please unmute yourself?
He's not present.
Or send a message. नहीं, कभी-कभी रेडमी वगैरह करके भी आ जाते हैं.
So he can reply in the chat box if he is present.
You have given in the chat box. Professor Sani, I suppose he's not there right now. So we got a couple of messages in the chat box, and I would request them to speak briefly. One is Mr. Akhil Saxena. He is an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and ex-advisor to Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Saxena. Mr. Akhil Saxena.
Please unmute yourself.
You wanted to say, yeah, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Madam Dambir, for inviting me to the virtual dais for paying tributes to the technocrat and the tall leader of our country, and Dr. Kohli, that we have just lost. Professor Sasrabuddhi, Chairman AICT, Professor Rajkumar, Vice Chancellor, Punjab University, Shri Som Mittal, President NASCOM, Professor Das, IIT Ropar Director, and other dignitaries and listeners. I think all the speakers before me have somewhat interacted with Kohli Saab, but I'll only speak about his contributions to the technology industry and the usage of his works in the government administration. So I myself am a BTech Honors and MTech in Computer Science from IIT Kharagpur. So even during my IIT days, I remember that there were many technologies that we used to learn about, and even when I was in the multinational corporation sector. So there were technologies that had the impact of Kohli Saab. So his contributions have an immense impact in the technology sector, and this is going to remain for a very long period of time. When I joined the government of Madhya Pradesh as the advisor to the CM, I think his contributions are not only limited to the technology sector, but they have been so vast that for the stall leader, even this has got into the arena of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, because I remember in 2017 when the district magistrate of my district had appointed me and an SDM for the Kayakalp assessment of the district hospital. The doctors and the technical staff to tell me about the technology which is behind the district hospital, issues of behind the medical science have an impact on the work of Kohli Saab. Very, very the fight which has been formed by Kohli Saab.
His connection is very slow.
We can't hear you.
Akhilji, we cannot hear you.
His connection is very slow.
Akhilji, we are unable to hear you.
I'm done with my speech, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Akhilji. It was wonderful to listen to you. Professor Kant probably wanted to say something. Professor Kant is from IIT Kanpur. He was from metallurgy, mechanical. Mechanical. In fact, he's
Good
kind of
afternoon.
as well. Professor Kant.
Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Sanghi has expressed his gratitude to Dr. K.C. Kohli and I didn't have the fortune to personally meet Dr. Kohli during his visit to IIT Kanpur. It has been a rare opportunity to listen to the achievements of a great son of India. From eminent scientists who came in his contact, my homage and prayers for the peace of the pious soul of Professor K.C. Kohli. Thanks to the organizers to arrange this memorial meeting. Thanks and prayers for the peace of the departed soul.
Thank you, Professor Kant. It's very nice of you to have joined us this morning. And now, to end this meeting, I would request Shri Dharamveer to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Kia. It's my present duty to propose vote of thanks. Right at the outset, I thank all of you for participating in the memorial meeting. Our special thanks to Professor Bamba for attending the meeting. He was the batchmate of Dr. Kohli in the college. I too pay tribute to Dr. F.C. Kohli, father of IT and software revolution in India. We all are beneficiary of his vision as India has emerged as the premier supplier of software and IT services worldwide. Gurgaon and Bangalore are living, vibrant examples of his vision. Since I belong to Haryana, I can appreciate how Gurgaon shaped up and came on the international platform. His statement that India has no damn business to be poor is was a great reminder for our policymakers and politicians. Having dealt with poverty alleviation schemes in the government, I can appreciate his sensitivity, depth and width of his statement. My thanks to Anand Krishnanji, Som Mittalji for personal eminences with Dr. Kohli. Thanks to Professor R.K. Kohli, VC of Amity University for his condolences on his, as well as on his behalf as well as of. Okay. I'm grateful to Professor Arun Grover, Professor Rajesh Kochar, and Professor K. Dharamveer for planning, organizing, and conducting this memorial meeting. Jai Hind.
So thank you. We close this meeting.
Can I say one?
Flash.
Can I say one?
Go ahead.
I would like to thank Mr. Sushil Jain, who is attending this meeting. He has been my friend, my classmate at Allahabad from 61 to 66. And yesterday we had long discussion and I sent him an invite. I'm particularly grateful to you for being here with us. You look as young as you were in 1966 when we parted the company.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for remembering me. Thank you. Bye-bye. I always enjoy.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Professor Sahasrabudhe. Thank you, Professor Harit Das, Manoj. क्या करें? क्या करें? I'll give you 5,000 rupees. You will buy for it.
कहाँ से करेंगे?
वो ऑप्शन पे किसी से कहो वो बना देगा
Close
50
कर
में,
देगा
5,000 में. You just buy it, you just gift it to the